Hello, hello, howdy, howdy. Hope you're doing great. This is going to be a overview of Apple Loops and how to use them and how you can incorporate them in your projects. Apple Loops are one of the coolest functions that come with GarageBand and Logic Pro, and if you know how to use them correctly, they can really enhance your projects. And I mean, I don't really know of any other program that comes with such a massive library that automatically sync with your project. I think Pro Tools used to, but not so much anymore. And for 200 bucks, what the sound libraries that you get with Logic are pretty amazing. So first things first, you want to make sure your Apple Loops are installed. So you're going to want to go up here and go to your sound library and make sure your Apple Loops are installed. If not, you're going to want to go ahead and install them. Once that is done, you're going to go to your loop browser here, and this is where it shows all of your loops. Now there's two types of loops. There are audio loops and MIDI loops, or audio loops and instrument loops. What does that mean? Well, if it's blue, it is an audio sample, meaning that it's a real audio recording of an instrument or sound. If it is green, it's a MIDI recording. So it actually will open a MIDI instrument, and you can change the notes. So let me show you what I mean. So if I drag it over here, it's going to bring the instrument or the kit, which I can play back, or you can play back with your full-size keyboard. And then I can look at the loop itself with all the notes. Cool, right? And let's say you like, this sound, but you want to change it up a bit. So I can go in and I could double up the kick. See? So you could take, one of these loops and temp in, say you just needed a drum set real quick. Well, I could take this and loop this, and how I do that is when I drag to the upper right-hand corner, it brings up this little loop button. I could use this just as a drum beat to play to, and once I've got my, whatever you're recording, your keyboard or your piano, you can go back in here and change all the notes and change it up. So you have a verse and a chorus and fills and things like that. So that is the difference there. Now with the audio loops, you still have some control, just not as much. So let's say we like this drum beat here. When you drag it to your timeline, it's going to play in the same tempo as your project. So if we speed it up, cool, right? What you can do with the audio loop is you can change the pitch of it. We could play it up an octave, which is pretty cool. Let's say you've got a guitar, a guitar loop, and you want it to play in time and key of your project. Well, when you drag it in here, you just go over here to your I button, make sure this region window is open, and you can mess with the transposition here. So you can do if you just click and drag up and down, you can, transpose it by finer increments, half steps. Cool, right? And if you say follow tempo, it's going to follow the tempo of your project. If you unclick it, then it won't. There's the original tempo. And a little quick explanation of the loop library. What you have is at the very top here, you've got a little drop-down menu where you can pick the genre. You can pick hip-hop, dubstep, modern R&B, all these different genres to narrow down your search. So you go hip-hop, and then up here you've got these three little selectors where you can choose what instrument you want to hear. If you're looking for drums, it'll just show you drums. If you're looking for a piano loop, it'll give you a hip-hop piano. And if you play your song and then click, it'll play in time. So these are different rhythms, obviously. So if we play this without the drum, and we can audition different sounds. Cool, right? And you can even look at different descriptors, like if we wanted a piano and we wanted the genre to be urban, hip-hop, R&B, and we wanted it to be only electric piano. That'll help narrow it down. Or we want it distorted, or we want it clean. That's really cool. So that's pretty much it. You can do a manual search here. You can also click the scale. You could say you want it to only be minor scales, major scales, neither. You can control your volume down here, depending on how loud you want it to play back. This will start and stop the loop. Additionally, you can also click on the loop up here and it'll play. You've got this little drop down where you can say you only want it to play in the key of your song. So if your song is set to be C major or B major, these will only play back in that key. Now if you play in original key, you'll hear the original key of the loop, so you can kind of hear the integrity of that. But that is pretty much it, folks. I mean, you can do a lot with this. You know, you can just drag a loop in and leave it as is, but you can do a lot of things with it. You can reverse the loop, you can chop it up. Like a lot of times I'll look for, you know, a drum sample. Like let's go to instrument, let's go to drums. Okay, let's say you find the sound of a drum loop that you like, but you just want to use the kick or the snare, right? You can drag this in and cut it up. So you could just repeat this. Or you can assemble your own kit based on different samples of all these different things. And another thing is you could, let's say you like you like the loop, but you want to change the sound, right? Well, let's go into country. Okay, say we like that, but we want a better sample. What you can do is go in and literally change your sound up here. I could go to one of my East-West libraries and say, I want a different guitar sound. Now this can only be done with the MIDI loops, not with the audio loops. So let's say I like, you know, one of my Ministry of Rock guitars. So now it's going to play back with this sound. Pretty cool, right? Let me play back the original. So we just took a country sound and made it rock. But the sky's the limit, guys. Have fun with it. Feel free to hit me up if you have any questions. And if this was helpful to you, feel free to like, subscribe, and share. And as always, have a great one wherever you are. Take care.